And he told us, I'm not letting you girls back in until you each give me a kiss. It meant so much to me to kiss him on the lips. I was like, oh my gosh, it's happening. It's happening. Rejection, burn. And I was like, yeah, shame on me, bad Christian. Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about my high school crush story, and let's go ahead and rewind back to 1997 when Titanic was like a huge blockbuster hit. Leonardo DiCaprio was the king of the world. I was obsessed with him. He didn't know that I was going to marry him. I knew he didn't know. It's okay, Leo. We wouldn't have worked out anyways, but that's okay. Then 1998 came around, sophomore year of high school, still in love with Leo, and art class. The art teacher sat us at our big, little art table. There were 4 students. It was me, another girl, a guy who was like Cuban, and then Travis, who had these beautiful crystal blue, big, beautiful eyes. And I just was like, I had never seen eyes like that before, honestly. I was just kind of like, whoa, who has eyes like that? Like they looked fake, but they were real. So it was kind of interesting. He was a grade above me. He was a junior. I was a sophomore. So I thought, ooh, upperclassman, like he's cooler than me. And he was very confident, and he was a surfer. It was that whole 90s grunge, like Cranberries were big in like 1995, mid 90s. Yeah, I still loved Cranberries. They were, you know, yeah. Oh, and he also said he was Christian, which I was like a Christian in hiding kind of thing. I didn't tell people I was Christian. It was never cool to be Christian. It's not cool today, and it wasn't cool back then. So I just felt really insecure in who I was. I don't know. I didn't think shame on me for not thinking like I was cool. Now, like I like myself now and I'm much more confident. But back then I just wanted to fit in. I think that's typical of high schoolers. They're trying to find who they are. They want to fit in. They want to be validated. They want to be accepted. There was me. And so but Travis was not afraid to say that he was a Christian publicly. And so I think I really admired that and I respected that about him. Also, he was like a clean cut guy. He didn't smoke, he didn't drink, he didn't do any bad boy things. He was very straight laced. And I appreciated that about him because no offense to anybody if you were a bad boy type, but I didn't like those guys. I didn't like players. I had a little bit of like nose in the air. I was super insecure and like gaining weight, by the way. Like that sophomore year, middle of sophomore year is when I started to see like a big rise in my weight. I was insecure. I didn't know what the heck. I didn't know about like clean eating or anything like that. I didn't understand self-control of food. I didn't get it. But anyways, but Travis, he managed his weight well. He didn't play sports. He was a runner. He did track. Oh, and he used to compliment my art. Did I say that already? So he made me feel good about that. And we would walk to classes together. Our locker was next to each other on purpose because we were friends, But I think it was a very one-sided friendship because he appreciated all the attention that I gave him. I think you can always kind of tell when somebody likes you or whatever. And I think he was like, yeah, like she's my little cheerleader kind of thing. But he didn't want to call me. He didn't want to talk on the phone. He didn't want to ask me to homecoming. He always liked girls who had blonde hair and blue eyes, which like Pamela Anderson was the girl of the 90s that everybody loved or whatever. Alicia Silverstone from Clueless were really popular. And so there wasn't so much like friends outside of your race. You really kind of stayed apart from each other. I think other cities like LA and New York, you probably had more opportunities for diversity of friendships. I'm not sure. I had to switch seats here. Can you see my star there? Then one day, I asked him to go to his church because he said he was Christian. And then he was like, oh no, my dad would never approve. And I was like, what? What do you mean your dad would never approve? Like he was trying to tell me. I thought he was trying to be subtle. I didn't know that's code for please don't think anything's ever going to happen. You know, I didn't understand. It wasn't clear to me. I didn't know. That was also difficult for me because when the Hispanic people would approach me, they would be like, no, tú tienes que estar con nosotras, tú tienes que sentar, you know, tú no debes estar, you know, so it was also reverse racism too, in a way, like, you shouldn't be hanging out with those white kids. And I was like, but I don't hardly speak any Spanish at the time. Now I speak a lot more Spanish, because I lived in Colombia for a few months, but when I was younger. But at the time I had not learned, or English was my first language. And so I didn't relate. I listened to 90s grunge music. I mean, I listened to everything, like R&B as well. I was a huge Brandy fan and all that. But at the same time, like I was very much Americanized, you know? And so culture-wise, I watched Boy Meets World, you know, these types of things. And so Travis was very appealing to me because he was a guy who didn't mind, I guess, being around me. He enjoyed my my friendship, or I thought it was my friendship. Again, it was more me being his cheerleader, fawning him. Like he didn't mind walking with me, but he was also very unfair to me because at the lockers, I still remember at least a couple of times when I was putting books away, he like kissed my cheek twice. At least I think it was twice. Like just and then he would laugh and like run away. And so this is very, very juvenile sophomore year. And it gave me hope because here he was saying that his dad would never approve, you can't go to my church or whatever. And we had some really good times in art class. You guys like talking and chatting over art. It was just really fun for me. And so I really enjoyed him a lot. I admired him. And it gave me hope. Those kisses gave me hope. And then like in the hallways, sometimes we'd be walking and he would like kind of like smack my butt. Like he shouldn't be doing that. That's not a very Christian thing to do. Or no guy should do that regardless of what, you know, whatever you are. But I remember it giving me hope, like that he was attracted. Well, first of all, no, with the smack thing, I got really angry, like livid angry, because he didn't want to date me. So if you're not like, we're nothing, you don't get to do this, is my attitude. You don't get to know. And so I would get livid with him, but not livid to where I would cut him off. Like I didn't stop being his friend. I didn't penalize him as much as I should have. Like looking back, I'm like, yeah, you should have, like, once he did that, you don't even talk to him anymore. He does not deserve, like, that was very rude. So it happened a couple of times. And so it gave me hope that maybe he could be attracted to me. Maybe we could make this work. Maybe there was hope. So it's like he gave me just enough to kind of keep me around. He didn't call me on the phone. If anything, like it's weird because we had each other's number. And so I do remember calling him to chit chat for a little, but he was like, why are we talking? Like he didn't say that, but that was the vibe that I got. Like, why are we on the phone right now? And it's like, in my mind, I'm like, I just wanted to talk to him as a person. I really regret that I didn't love myself more and value myself more and have more confidence in who I was. I was extremely picky in high school too. I was not attracted to hardly nobody, really. Leonardo DiCaprio was the only one I wanted, and he didn't go to that school. And I think he's 10 years older than me. So, and Travis had told me he only wanted a girl with blonde hair and blue eyes. That was it. She had to look a certain way. And look at me. I have dark hair and dark eyes and dark features and thick eyebrows, and he, you know, I was nothing like what he liked. I just felt so ugly because Travis didn't like me. I was not blonde hair and blue eyed like the way I was supposed to be if I was ever going to get affection from this guy. Because the girls that he would bring to homecoming were these beautiful blonde Barbie girls. He would find them at a different school. Like they weren't even at our school, these Barbie girls that he would find. But looking back, it was such a blessing in disguise because I was so faithful to my crush and so loyal to him that it really kept me out of trouble. Other girls were doing things that Like, I don't want my daughter even thinking about those things in high school. I want my daughter to be focused on her studies, her investing in her mind, and not fooling around with a guy who she's never going to marry. Like, no. And so a guy who's not worthy of her, who doesn't deserve her. And it's like, if I could go back in time, I would never have given a single ounce of my energy towards a guy who was not pursuing me, because it is my personal belief, and if there's any guys watching this, comment below, let me know what you think, but I feel like a guy knows very soon, probably within a month or to 2 months, whether this is a girl he can see himself going the distance with. Correct me if I'm wrong, comment below. They know pretty quick if she's wife material or not. If I would have known that then, that guys kind of categorize you very quickly, I would not have wasted another second of my attention on Travis and wishing for him to like me. I would have, I'm sure I would have mourned and gotten over it like much quicker. Instead, I spent years, my entire rest of my high school, thinking only of Travis and Leonardo DiCaprio on the side. So I guess it was a little unfaithful to my crushes. But to be fair, like, I didn't know if Leo and I were going to work out and stuff. So I am so grateful that Travis never once tried to take, aside from the butt tap thing, Travis never tried to take advantage of me. Mentally, by talking to me on the phone and making me think I could be his girlfriend. He never took advantage of me physically. Again, beyond that butt tap thing and the kiss on the cheek, like, he could have done so much more, and he never did, thankfully. And I think one thing he did appreciate about me is that I was not that kind of girl either. Even though my weight was fluctuating in high school and going all funky, I still had self-respect in that regard. And I am grateful to that, because I think that kept a lot of riffraff away from me. Because one guy in my freshman year, before Travis was in the picture, stopped talking. He totally ghosted me. And when I found out why, because I asked some girl, I was like, why doesn't that, Claudio was his name, why doesn't Claudio talk to me anymore? And she was like, oh, he said you're fresh meat, like, you don't do anything. And so I was like, he was considered a hot guy too by a lot of girls, like, because I realized that Claudio only wanted to be around me if it required me to be in a swimsuit. And so I was like, yeah, no, like, no. Fast forward to college. Travis was supposed to go to Florida State University, but I guess he didn't get in right away. I don't know what happened there. So I went to community college before I went to the University of Central Florida. At the time, it was Seminole Community College. Now it's Seminole State College, I think. But anyway, Travis was there, and I was so excited because I was like, oh, I get a second chance. Maybe Travis and I are going to work out this time. And I had joined the International Student Organization, and I joined Student Government Association. I'm trying to think if there were any other clubs I was a part of, but Travis was in those clubs too. So I was like, ooh, I get to spend more time with Travis, not just on campus and at lunch and between classes, but also in those, student organization and all that. But with student government, they decided to send us on some leadership retreat that took me to Destin, Florida. I don't know if you've ever been to Destin, Florida, but it is gorgeous. It was like this resort that they set us up in, which had this amazing convention center. And they put us, like, a bunch of college, young 19, I was 18 or 19 years old. It was about October. And so here I was at this gorgeous resort overlooking the beach, and Travis, myself, and this other girl who went to another community college, Lake Sumter Community College over in Claremont, we were out on the beach. It was a chilly, cold night because it was like October, November-ish. And we were laying out on the beach. He was in the middle and he had a girl on each side. And I was like cuddled up to him. Starry night, so many stars. I don't think in Orlando we see so many stars as I was seeing that night. And, Travis had, I think he had his arm around both of us, but I felt like I was special because that other girl, he had just met her, and Travis and I had history as far as I was concerned because I had known Travis since high school. It was freezing cold, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so cold." And Travis was like, "Oh, here, you can have my socks." He took off his socks, he put them on me. I was, as far as I was concerned, we were practically getting ready to date as far as, wearing his socks. And he was keeping his arm around me, like, to keep me warm. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like this had never happened before." And the most, like I said, was at the locker. He had pop kissed me. And then a shooting star went by in the sky. And I was like, it was so amazing. To this day, I have never seen a shooting star before. So I got to do something like that. My husband and I got to find a shooting star so I can say I have that experience with him. But it was so romantic, I thought. And except for that other girl on the other side, like, anyway, we were laughing. I used to have a lot of fun with Travis, but we were laughing out there. And then to get back to our resort, there was a whole fence, and he like ran through the fence and locked me and the other girl out. And he told us, "I'm not letting you girls back in until you each give me a kiss." And I was like, "What?" The other girl was like, "What are you talking about? We, like, Travis was cute. So it wasn't like it was this terrible thing to have to give him a kiss or whatever." So I think we argued with him for a long time, but then finally we were like, "Fine, we will give you the stupid kiss that you want." And so when we gave him a kiss, it was like a pop kiss. It was like, that's all he wanted. Yeah. So thank God, that's all he wanted. I don't know, but the other girl went first and she pop kissed him, and he was like, "Okay, Jennifer, your turn." And I was like, the thing is, it meant so much to me. Like, this was to kiss him on the lips. I was like, "Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's happening. It's happening." So then the pop kiss happened. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I couldn't believe it. I thought that he was in love with me, and he was using this moment to take advantage of the opportunity to kiss me because he was too nervous to try to make a move on me on his own, is what I thought. No. So we get back to the resort, and we weren't, like, it was like an apartment type room that we were in, or hotel room. I think it was all girls in one room, all guys in another, but we were at Travis's hotel room or whatever. And so then I think somebody put on Spanish music, and we were like dancing salsa or something. So that was awkward and interesting. But then I tried to make a stupid girl trying to make a move on this guy. Like, but I tried to re-kiss him again because he I thought he liked me, like, legitimately. I thought that pop kiss meant something to him the way it did to me. And so when I went to go, like, get closer to him, he stopped my face. He, like, put his hand right in front of my face, and he was like, "What are you doing?" Like, rejection, burn. And I was like, "What?" Like, and then it dawned on me that kiss meant nothing to him because I hadn't like, I was still thinking that time on the beach that we had just endured the last few hours meant something to him. I'm sorry if I sound a little congested. I think I hope I'm not getting sick. But I thought that it meant something to him. And so I was devastated when I realized it meant nothing to him. And then I think there was a party going on at the convention center still that night. And I was like, okay, like everybody in the where we were was like, okay, you guys, let's go to the party at the convention center. And I remember riding the bus to the convention center being livid with him, like so angry. But I should have been angry at myself for not seeing all the signs and the red flags. I just was ignorant to relationships and guys and how everything worked. I was so angry, and I remember coming home to the girl who is now my sister-in-law, and I remember crying to her and being like, Travis popped kissed me. He did all this stuff and it meant nothing to him. It meant nothing. I was so angry. And my sister-in-law hated Travis because she was like, Travis is arrogant. He thinks everyone wants him. He thinks this, he thinks that. I can't stand Travis. I don't know what you see in him. And I remember she had told me that her brother was the best thing, that because her brother was actually homecoming king of his high school that he went to. He was super smart. He was not arrogant at all, even though he was a soccer player and a football player and homecoming king. And he wasn't valedictorian. He was second. He actually lost to his high school my husband's high school girlfriend was valedictorian, so my husband lost to her. But my husband does say that she used to actually study. He never did, so he was like, I didn't care that much. She could have valedictorian. I didn't care about titles, but whatever. But I was so obsessed with Travis, and I still had such an attachment to him from sophomore year of high school, and here we were in college. So I didn't see her brother. Like, he was just, I was still so in love with, or actually at this point, I was heartbroken by Travis because that was the time that it was that scene that finally got me to realize this is never gonna happen. Never. And I want to say it was like within a month, he had a girlfriend, a new one, and she was the perfect blonde hair, blue-eyed girl that he had described all through high school that he would want in a woman. She was everything. And I remember like my mouth fell open when I saw her because I was like, oh my gosh, this is everything he's ever wanted. She is everything he's ever wanted. She was perfect, proper. She was a pastor's daughter, very fiery girl, passionate personality, disciplined, amazing woman. And I actually was inspired by her. I learned a lot from her. And she befriended me, and I loved her. I want to tell you too that I got over Travis very quickly after that. So I was actually super happy for him with that girl, and I thought they would get married. Also, I want to let you know too that at this point, a bit of a camaraderie and friendship was starting to form with my husband, who was my sister-in-law's brother. Like that friend that I came home and cried to, her brother, like he and I began talking. I don't know if his girlfriend had dumped him in high school because he never kissed his ex-girlfriend. They dated all through high school and he never once kissed her. And I guess they didn't communicate well enough because she never told him why she dumped him until later. My husband ended up finding out through a friend. I don't know why she didn't communicate that with him, because my husband and I, it didn't take long. We were like, I think it was our first date. We were, yeah, shame on me, bad Christian. So anyway, but I am also very grateful for that time because I got to know over the course of the year my husband as a friend, and it wasn't because of physical attraction or anything like that, although I do find my husband attractive, but we were friends first. And because again, my husband was getting over his ex-girlfriend, I was getting over Travis. And so as we healed, in that journey, we found each other. Travis had graduated like with his AA, and he was getting ready to go to the University of Florida. And so I hadn't seen him for a long time. And at this point, my husband and I had started dating, and I had left to Colombia and lived over there for a few months. I was getting, my jaw used to stick forward. Yeah. So my husband met me when I was overweight, my jaw stuck forward, and I had braces. I guess I don't know why I was expecting Travis to like me, but I did. Yeah, I was overweight with braces and it was awful. But my husband loved me overweight with braces with an underbite. So that was another thing. Like we had a deeper connection because it wasn't based on physical. And so while I was in Colombia, I learned about healthy eating. You know, they don't eat a lot of processed foods and all that stuff over there. And so I lost a lot of weight. And so my mom says, "Oh, Michael, you bought when the stock was low," because I ended up losing all this weight and stuff like that. And the braces came off and my jaw got fixed and all this. But I did run into Travis because I used to go to his girlfriend's church. And so I ran into Travis there because he was dating the pastor's daughter. And so I ended up going to church with Travis anyway. but he was there and my husband was there with me. And my husband got to meet Travis. And that was very interesting because I think Travis was like shocked. My husband said that Travis had super shifty eyes and like acted really weird around him. And it's true. I didn't really notice because I was so in love with my husband at that point. And my husband to me was way more attractive than Travis had ever been because my husband was super tall. Travis was like my height. No offense towards guys who are my height. No offense. I'm not trying to bag on any guys. It's the thing. There were things about Travis physically that I didn't like. And I was like, why am I so obsessed with this guy? I hate his height. I hate that he had this super hairy chest. No offense towards guys with hairy chests. I couldn't stand hairy chests. And my husband didn't have a hairy chest. My husband was tall. Like my husband had characteristics that I actually preferred. So I think the lesson that I want to impart like to my daughter when I have these discussions with her is that rejection is actually a blessing. Embrace that rejection. Don't shy away from it. Don't run away from it. Embrace the rejection because that is not the guy for you. If he's not chasing you, ladies, if he's not into you trying to make this work, he's not for you. Because the guy who loves you is going to love you even when you're overweight, even when you have your braces, even when you have a bad attitude, he's going to forgive you. Now, I'm not suggesting you're going to have a bad, that you should have a bad attitude, but the man who loves you, he's going to forgive you and you're going to have grace for him and vice versa. And and he's going to understand your heart. He's going to understand where you're coming from. He, even when it doesn't make sense to other people, your husband's going to get you. He's going to be like, "Don't worry, babe. I get it. I get it." Like, doesn't matter. Even when you make mistakes, he's going to be like, "Girl, I got you. I got you. I get it. Yes, yes, babe. I know your weaknesses. It's cool." Like, like that's how your husband's going to be. He's going to get it. And then you will be there to forgive your husband when he needs forgiveness too, because he's going to need it too. And he's going to need grace. And so, but Travis, I don't know who he married. I'm sure he's on Facebook. I hope Travis is doing well. I am so grateful to him for, aside from the kiss on the cheek and the butt tap thing, I am very grateful that he never tried to take advantage of me because he could have taken advantage of me. Like when he put the hand on my face, he could have gone further, like who knows what crazy junk I would have done. And so I would have been, he saved me from sin. I appreciate that. And because of Travis, I have only been with my husband because we got married within 2 years. So that's another reason I am grateful to Travis. Like if you're going to crush on someone who's not going to take advantage of you physically. So that is my advice. And then I got over Leo too, because I had the opportunity to speak to one of his ex-girlfriends because I hosted her website. That's a whole other story. And so I was able to learn a lot about Leonardo DiCaprio and I really needed that to help me get over my celebrity crush with him. So I do remember thinking that my husband kind of looked a little like Leonardo DiCaprio at the time, like he has his profile. But anyways, please like this video if you liked it, share this video if you think it'll benefit someone, and I hope to talk to you guys later. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this one. And I hope I'll see you again really soon. Bye, everyone.